So does there need to be a thorough probe into Robert Vadra's dealings? Joining us tonight is Randeep Singh Surjewala, Cabinet Minister in the Haryana government. Also joining us on the show this evening is former IPS officer Kiran Bedi. We'll be joined shortly by senior lawyer Dushyant Dave here in the studio with us, senior Samajwadi Party leader Mr. Kamal Farooqi and senior journalist Aarti Jairath. Mr. Surjewala, how embarrassing has it been that Mr. Rao Indrajit Singh today is calling for a thorough probe into Mr. Vadra's dealings, into all land dealings? In fact, he's an MP from Gurgaon from your own party.
Nidhi, let's not twist Rao Indrajit Singh's statement. I've heard him on your channel also, as also others. He has said no such thing. Having said that, there are three untruths spreading around, which is either creating confusion or is trying to muzzle and muddle the truth in this case. And first is, was Mr. Khemka transferred because he was examining any alleged land dealings between Mr. Vadra's company or somebody else? The answer is no. And I have to give you two dates which are important. Mr. Khemka was posted as Director Consolidation in July 2012. On 1st August 2012, he represents to the government saying he will not exercise powers of Special Collector under Land Ceiling Act, which is vested in that post. High Court issues a bailable warrants against Mr. Khemka for not exercising the powers. On 1st October 2012, High Court directs that a special collector be appointed. On 10 days thereafter, on 11th October 2012, Mr. Khemka is transferred. Till then, he doesn't say a word either about Mr. Vadra's land or anybody's else. One day after his transfer, on 11th October, that is on 12th October, Mr. Khemka suo moto draws something from his hat and writes a letter to collectors of four districts.
If you want to get into the sequence of events, we can also throw back some dates at you, about how he had asked for the files on Robert Vadra on the 8th of October. And the moment he asked for the files, then the alarm bells rang. He was then formally transferred, and then he followed up. But how are you dismissing Rao Indrajit Singh's statement? I can read out the transcript to you. I can happily play the bite again for you. He's very clearly said, when asked about what Ashok Khemka is saying, that it should be an inquiry that should not only include these 4 acres, but should also include the 1200 acres that has been released after Section 4 and Section 6, and etc., etc. So he's saying, and he was asked, and again I'm reading the transcript to you, you're saying don't single out just Robert Vadra, but go for everyone, all the big fish. And he says, yes, that is what I'm saying, probe everybody. So how are you denying your own Congress MP statement?
All that I'm saying, Nidhi, is that a difference of opinion between a learned member of parliament and the government does not make a correct thing wrong. We can't shy away from one fact that there are opposition parties who are only trying to sensationalize these facts by misdirecting, muzzling and muddling the truth. And the truth is that Mr. Khemka says nothing till he is transferred. He gets up on 12th October, one day after his transfer. On 15th October, 4 days after his transfer, he passes another order.
Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you, Mr. Surjewala, because first you said that your MP never said any such thing. Now you've said that there is a difference of opinion. He has very clearly said that let there be a thorough probe into everyone's dealings, including Mr. Vadra and everybody else. Are you ready for that? Isn't that a fair request to make?
The question arises that in this case, there are 2 orders passed by Mr. Khemka, an IAS officer of Haryana cadre. We constituted a committee of 3 senior most IAS officers. There is 0 loss to the state. The entire stamp duty has been paid. Our entire license money has been paid. And there is no wrongdoing. 2.7 acre license only given to Mr. Vadra's company in accordance with rules and regulation. We already conducted an inquiry. In fact, it is Mr. Khemka who's being asked to explain facts now.
But you don't think you need to revisit the inquiry after the allegations made by Mr. Khemka in his report, in his counter to this committee, a committee which didn't even let him depose properly in front of them, a committee which found fault with Khemka for what he did rather than with any of the land deals that took place? Why shouldn't it be a judicial probe? Why shouldn't it be monitored by the CBI?
That's why I said, Nidhi,
why shouldn't be a CBI probe monitored by the judiciary, as Ashok Khemka says?
Nidhi, what are the facts? As far as government is concerned, I'm telling you with a sense of responsibility, we have looked at the facts. And the facts have come out after an inquiry by 3 senior most IAS officers. After all, if it's not one IAS officer who's right and the entire administrative bureaucracy in the state is wrong, it's unfair to put us to that. And the argument is very simple. Here is a gentleman who passed an order after his transfer. Here is a gentleman who passed an order undervaluation of stamp duty. We have checked every single transaction. There is no undervaluation.
Well,
here is a person who cancelled a mutation,
Mr.
not a
Surjewala,
sale deed.
the facts of the case are that he was transferred once he asked for the files on Robert Vadra. We're going back to that question. Let me get Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, the Deputy Leader of the Opposition in the Rajya Sabha here. Mr. Prasad, would the BJP then today stand by its demand that there needs to be a more thorough inquiry? Mr. Khemka's lawyer says it should be a CBI probe that should be monitored by a high court in this country. Is that something the BJP would demand as well?
Well, it is a copybook case of abuse of authority for undue enrichment to a SPG protectee who is also protected by power because of his family connection. That is the copybook case. Since the Congress representative is refuting it so eloquently, let me briefly indicate for our viewers what the fact is. For 7 crores and odd, the land is transferred to a company having pittance 43,000 in its books of accounts. Only 2 directors, mother and Mr. Vadra. That is a bank transaction by a corporation bank check which turns out to be fictitious. Corporation bank has stated that we have not issued a check like that, though it is a part of the document. After few days, 7 crore land is transferred to DLF for 58 crores. And the license for development of housing is given to Mr. Vadra after it is transferred to DLF, and the premium is both the measure of the man for that purposes and also the license to develop housing. Now, Nidhi, can you appreciate in few months' time, 7 crore property will become 58 crores and the person, the vendor, does not get the money? It is clearly violative of India's Transfer of Property Act and also Registration Act both. Now, if that has been the case, and the vendor Omkareshwar property becomes the beneficiary of many housing projects. Now, as far as the inquiry is concerned, let me raise a very fundamental issue about the inquiry. 3 IAS officer or 10 IAS officer. Who are inquiring it? The Revenue Secretary and the Town Planning Secretary. The role of both of whom is a matter of scrutiny because of the award of house developing licenses. Therefore, they are becoming a judge in their own cause.